Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. Today is a 1 vs 1 on Road to Kharkov between our red British Forces player, Korean Air Force, and down at the bottom we have our blue Wehrmacht player, Jove, who is currently the #1 Wehrmacht player in the game. And we have a fuel point down at the bottom here, munitions point, and a victory point on Road to Kharkov. In the center we have a victory point, and up top a victory point, munitions point, and a fuel point behind this lowly house here. Infantry moving on out, infantry to follow there, and for the Wehrmacht here, engineers moving on out, MG42 and a grenadier to follow there for Jove. And I'm going to grab that and immediately move on, hop the fence, and get on out of there. I'm going to pick up the cutoff point here, while the MG42 grabs the point all the way on the bottom. And looks like the Grenadier is going to be moving all the way up top there. Actually retreats the Grenadiers as they come out so that they get to the Kampfgruppe headquarters faster. And actually, I don't think I've ever thought of that idea. And it's so simple, yet so good of an idea. And the engineers now moving out to the munitions point here. And going to grab that, but got to watch out for the infantry. They were grabbing that, but ended up turning around. Going to have to go back out the other side of the house there. Just needed to catch a quick peek and see what was going on out there. And now the Grenadiers at the territory point. Triple infantry for the British forces at the moment. Neither side has selected a commander. And now the territory point has been taken. And infantry going to be moving on here. Going to meet the engineers soon, but British infantry destroy Wehrmacht engineers. And now moving on over to the victory point. I can set up that MG42 here shortly. Gonna be moving up here, maybe get behind that fence there. Perhaps come all the way around there. And now a sniper on the way for the Wehrmacht. And up top, I hear some shooting and killing going on. Now the Grenadiers inside the house there force the infantry section back to some degree. And the Grenadiers are going to be moving up, going to maybe try and use those sandbags against the infantry.
Causing trouble, trying to take
and that would be irony there, and he does. And now the British infantry is in a little bit of trouble there, but got a nice lucky shot in on one of those Grenadiers. Took him down to 3, so 4-3 at the moment. And down at the bottom, the MG42 started firing away at some of those infantry there with the medical upgrade, forcing them to back up for now. Sniper is out in the field, another Grenadier to follow after that one. And now the Pioneers are grabbing the territory point, the cutoff point for the British. And they're firing those MP40s from very long range, which is very, very ineffective. And he cut off the supply line for now. And just going to leave it neutral for now. And not really going to bother taking it just yet. Wants to shoo away those infantry. And going to make a minefield there. And meanwhile, down at the bottom here, in the center rather, infantry moving up. And while they're creating that minefield there, they got interrupted. And so it cost them 60 munitions to really get interrupted there and make only a couple mines. So that is not going to be very effective at all. The Pioneers here down to 2 men. 1 man flies in the air from bullets. And it's always a very interesting sight. And the sniper here moving up on the infantry. And may grab another kill here, but couldn't fire in time. So far, only 1 kill on that sniper. Now the MG moving on up, but there is a couple mines slapped in the ground there. They got a couple off, but overall, pretty much cost them 60 to put down 2 little bits of mines there, which is definitely not very efficient at all. Now the infantry going to be backing out of there. And Grenadiers taking the final territory point that has not been taken just yet. Sniper going to hide behind the barrels here, going to try and get some more kills, but there was a lot of British forces on the way here. If only the sniper knew, he'd probably be bailing here. He's going to have to stay around the barrels to remain camouflaged, and he loses his camouflage, and the British sniper sees him and loses the Wehrmacht sniper to the counter sniper. And other Grenadiers going to try and take out that sniper there, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that, and then force the retreat on those Grenadiers. So a big loss for the Wehrmacht there. Did not get enough kills to really pay off that sniper, which you usually need about 15, 16-ish kills to make it really worthwhile. And both of the infantry here immediately get suppressed by that MG42. One of them pinned to the ground, forces that one out of there, pins the other one, and it might be actually out of the way now. And it should be able to get back up. And down on the bottom here, munitions point being taken back by the British forces. Sniper at 1 kill, but one very, very nice kill. One Wehrmacht sniper on his kill list there. And some Royal Engineers now in the field, cleaning up those mines that were placed there. 222 is on the way for the Wehrmacht. And 2 Grenadiers still chilling at base here, waiting for that manpower. Reload, get those on out of there. And gets the first squad ready to go. The other squad now reinforcing as well. And now the Pioneers have a flamethrower. And the 222 out on the way.
We are losing a sector.
And just for a quick moment there, I realized that the scout car used to not come with that 2-centimeter gun on top, and you actually had to research it. And that was just such a bad idea, because it was basically required to research it to be any good. Now the Pioneer has to run on out of there. And the MG42 setting up around this area here. Has to watch out for that sniper, of course.
The AT gun you ordered
And
is
MG42 going to be moving up into the munitions point here. Going to use that to collect the munitions point. But the sniper is now moving along here. And is out in the open, is visible. And 222 now backing up here. Going to try and go after the sniper here. He's just going to keep backing up and hope that the 222 attacks the sniper. And could lose this sniper here. We'll see if he's lucky or not. Definitely not lucky at all. Now a 5-man group of infantry here. Collected the upgrade there for that extra man in the group. And a 6-pounder is now on the field for the British forces to go after that 222. 222 right in front of the building here. Firing point blank at these soldiers through the windows. And Grenadiers over here with an MG42, but unfortunately not in a very good area. Unable to fire into that building there. And now Grenadiers all the way on the British side, grabbing some territory. Did take out that cutoff point there from the British forces. And now the 222 forcing away some more infantry here.
The squad of Pioneers has arrived.
And fuel point was taken away temporarily, but the MG42 is going to pack up, going to go grab that back for the Wehrmacht there. And the Pioneers versus Royal Engineers. But they decided to run away, and no fight going to be taking place just yet. 222 instead is going to go over there and try and deal with that. 1-star veterancy on that 222 already, with only 4 kills due to that sniper kill. And 222 actually destroys a mine. One stray round there struck that mine on the ground as they were running away, so no more mine for the British forces there, which is pretty nice for the Wehrmacht, as the Wehrmacht has no Pioneer now, just now has a Pioneer with a mine detector squad, and we do have a modified M6 mine there in the middle of the road, and a new sniper being developed for the Wehrmacht. 2 infantry with the medical upgrade, 2 of them without. 6-pounder now being brought up here. And looks like 222 is going to run right into that 6-pounder. It's going to take the first shot here. And should be able to back out in time. And that just gave it a little bit of veterancy, actually. And now the infantry moving on down. Going to do neighbor versus neighbor. Angry, angry neighbors. But the one neighbor typically has an MG42. And he is just Ramboing that up there in that window. And this guy isn't even stabilizing it. He just says, screw it, I'm just going to Rambo it right into that house. And that's the manly way to do it. But more infantry coming from the other side now, so the Grenadiers are going to have to pack up and leave on out of there. Although they are firing on the somewhat weaker ones with poorer cover. But not going to last too much longer. Down to 2 men there now. And forces them out of there. Now both of the squads going to get inside the house. One squad's going to get inside the house. If the other squad got inside the house, it might have gotten an additional kill there. Somewhat unlikely, but the RNG gods do sometimes smile upon you, particularly in Company of Heroes. And 222 has been fully repaired. Nearly a 2-star veteran, 222. And Sniper here now firing away into the building. Meanwhile, on the left side here, some Grenadiers
Available to drop smoke.
dealing with the infantry that are just firing at the house for no apparent reason. And 222 pushing up, using that infantry awareness, checking out all the infantry in the area there. There is a 6-pounder right around the corner that he's got to watch out for. And Pioneers get inside the house there to torch any nearby infantry, but unfortunately they were just not close enough for those Pioneers. And British still shooting away at the building there. And now Pioneers grabbing the victory point. Infantry just shooting away at the building, still having a good time, just doing some target practice, trying to hit the broadside of a barn. And so they can. And it looks like a mine was going to be created there, but decided against that. And now there is a mortar out for the Wehrmacht, now moving on to the center of the map. And it looks like there was a sniper on the way
The new company command post is ready.
for the British, but it looked like it was cancelled. The company command post is now up and running now. 2 25-pounders in the base, ready to fire whenever needed. And now the Wehrmacht pushing up. Teller mine on the ground. Modified M6 mine in front of that. Mine versus mine warfare at the moment. Another infantry awareness usage on that 222. It's just something you don't really see every day. And now Grenadiers trying to huddle behind those sandbags. Can barely get at them. And Pioneers coming around the corner here. And a really nice mine landed on those troops there. Didn't take any out, but took the whole squad down to just about nothing. But fortunately for the British forces, very, very easy to heal, as British forces just pretty much press the button and that's it. Even easier than US forces, if you can believe that. Now the 222 grabbing the munitions point along with the help of the Grenadiers there. And Grenadiers forced to run on home, grabs another kill just before he leaves. And Royal Engineer recovery squads now in the field here for the British. And 222 wreaking havoc here on these engineers that are just hanging out. Now another veterancy on that 222. A little bit more accurate, a little bit better overall. And now got to watch out for this 222 here. And the infantry running on out of there. Going to run through the machine gun just a little bit, but don't lose too much. Pack 40 now on the map for the Wehrmacht, but no armor out just yet for the British forces. But not too much of a need for it. Always a good preemptive move. Sniper here racking up some kills. Nearly a 1-star veteran sniper.
Enemy still has 300 points.
480 so far for the Wehrmacht. 299 for the British forces. 2-star veteran 222 moving on out. Also has that scope upgrade as well, using that German mechanized doctrine. And just a little bit, we'll have that command tank. Needs 4 command points for that command tank, so it's going to be just a little bit longer than a little bit, I suppose. But sooner or later here.
We need some reconnaissance.
And Grenadiers going to try and get inside the house before the infantry do, and they do. And now that MG42 firing right out in front of the windows. And that side's not going to be any better, as there are 4 windows right on that side there. And ye olde blob o British forces on the left side here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
And Pioneers forced out of there by double Royal Engineers, recovery engineers at that. Now the 222 in a little bit of trouble here, letting the troops get a little bit too close. But unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much to that 222 just yet. 222, nearly a 3-star veteran. Over halfway to that. And recovery squad here going to be taking the full brunt of the 222. 222 stabilized and still doing some damage. Now a Cromwell out for the British forces. And the Grenadiers firing away on the recovery squad. And it looks like a Panzer IV maybe on the way for the Wehrmacht right now. Pioneers inside the house here, torching anybody near it. And mortar lands. Looks like it almost landed on that house there on the Pioneers. Cromwell coming around the corner now. Pioneers get out just in time. And now the Pack 40 has something to do. Also bringing over that 6-pounder behind the Cromwell. Wherever it may go. And using incendiary rounds on the Cromwell, not doing too much though. And nearly decrews that MG42 squad. And did, I think, a pixel length of damage on that Cromwell with those incendiary rounds. But the Pack 40, however, does more than that. And does a good chunk, but there are engineers everywhere on this map. He's got triple engineers able to repair pretty much anytime, anywhere. And now the Panzer IV is out on the map, moving towards the center, and going to try and defend the area here. And going to get rid of some of that wall there, and that's going to allow the Pack 40 to get around there a little bit easier. Now a trench is being developed here. Cromwell going to push forward along with the 6-pounder as well, but the Panzer IV and the Pack 40 are here as well. And a double shot there on the Cromwell. Takes a little bit more than that Panzer IV did. 222, unfortunately, right now, not particularly useful. Could be using that 222 to come around the backside of that 6-pounder, but then the Cromwell would just pretty much destroy it. So the 222 is going to stay here instead, try and deal with some of the infantry. Nearly a 3-star veteran. And looks like an incendiary round run off on that troop there from the sniper. Nearly wiped the whole squad. Troop 22 allowing the troops to get a little bit too close there, so he backs up. No, a 3-star veteran, 222. And Cromwell being repaired up did take quite a bit of damage there. 6-pounder really needs to go if the Wehrmacht really wants to stay ahead of the game, although he is currently ahead of the game. That 6-pounder is really the only thing that's preventing that Cromwell from being pretty much insta-gibbed by both a Pack 40 and the Panzer IV at the moment. Grenadiers grabbing the fuel point there from the British forces, and the base 25-pounders firing away on the area there on some open ground. Nothing really there to attack at the moment. And the 222 pushing away. Grenadiers, infantry rather, near the trench. Under the trench now, and there are some troops around there. Going to avoid that for the moment. Panzer IV did not get repaired. And MG42 team takes a big hit there. Needs to pack up and run immediately. And lost 2 men and a huge amount of damage. Cromwell unable to finish it off completely though. Sniper firing away into the trench. Panzer IV firing at the trench too, trying to get rid of that. Cromwell going to be moving up now. Cromwell takes a shot from the Pack 40 and forces that back out of there, but the Panzer IV definitely needs repaired here. 2 Pioneers on the field, but no repairing going on. Fuel point has been taken by the Wehrmacht as well. Sniper now a 2-star veteran, shooting away into the house there, using stealth, moving back and forth. And Pack 40 hits the Cromwell, and now the mortar coming down on the 6-pounder. And tons of British infantry here moving after the Pack 40. Pack 40 going to take a lot of damage here. Grenadiers going to try and defend, but there's only 2 men and just 1 man left. He has to run immediately, so that didn't last particularly long. And just a huge force is incoming now. Cromwell, 2 Cromwells now in the field. And it looks like a Stug is on the way for the Germans as well. So the Wehrmacht now actually in a little bit of trouble, going to lose the center.
We have 200 points remaining.
And both Pioneers here still struggling to get that Panzer IV back up and going. And a universal carrier is on the way as well for the British forces, possibly going to make that a command vehicle and then use the reconnaissance to check out the area there and possibly use base Artie to take it all out. And both Cromwells being repaired up. Another trench being developed there at the victory point. And Stug now out on the field for the Germans. Another trench being developed right around the corner. And has already been designated a command vehicle, already bringing out the recon, but the 222 is pretty good at taking out recon planes, so we'll see if it can actually finish them all off or not here. And Grenadiers in a little bit of trouble, forces them out of there now. The fuel point been taken from the Wehrmacht. And base Artie here coming down. Artillery cover all over the area here. And the loader has actually been injured on that Panzer IV, which is not something you see all the time. Artillery cover coming down all over these. And Cromwell's now pushing up here. And double Cromwell now in the base of Jove. And both of the loaders are injured immediately. And another loader injured. And another loader injured. All the artillery cover heavily damaging the loaders of these vehicles. And now both Cromwells will escape. And Jove surrenders. So Jove had a huge advantage the entirety of the game, except for once that command vehicle, and where is that old command vehicle, was made, the universal carrier was made a command vehicle and just started using that free vehicle air support, and that artillery cover came down all over these tanks, damaged the loaders too much, and were unable to fight back very well. So the Stug was going backwards, was not going backwards, and instead was just going frontwards and forward into the base, so it could not fire on the move at the very least. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I will see you guys next time.